Welcome everyone to Straight from the Paws. Now today I have some very special guests who you can see. First of all, I'll introduce the humans. On my right here is Beverly Andrade, and she is the foster mom of 3 lovely little kittens here. And Denise DeVillis Lopes is also the foster coordinator. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about fostering, not only kittens, but any animals we have at the shelter. Now, these little guys, this is Rex. He's the baby. He's the only boy. And Denise has...
Subi.
No, I have Subi.
You have Subi.
I have Subi. You have...
Evo.
Evo is a little girl, and I have Subi, who is also a little girl. And in case you're not a car person, they're named after cars. Subaru, State Line Subaru helps us all the time, and I love Subarus. I have them on my 6th Subaru, so I named this little cat Subi, and after Subaru. And those two are named...
This is Subaru car named WRX.
Right.
They pronounce Rex, so this little guy is named Rex.
Right.
And then we jumped the gun, and we went to the Mitsubishi line, and that's Evo from a Mitsubishi car.
Yeah, so they're here today, because we're going to talk a little bit about fostering. So we'll start with Denise. Denise, how is the foster program going for you?
It's going strong. We have about 60 people on our list for fostering. We have about 10 very active fosters. Some people have certain times of year where they cannot take an animal into their home, or if they're spending time in Florida. But we do have a very active program. We also put a shout out if we're ever in need, if we have many, many animals that are in need. We usually put something on our Facebook page or on our website calling for foster families. One of the stipulations for fostering, however, is that you live fairly close by. We do get a lot of people from North Shore and areas fairly distant from our shelter. And the reason why we like them fairly close is because of the relationship that we have with local veterinarians. And also bringing them in for distemper shots, rabies vaccines, and the such. So we usually do indicate Bristol County preferred. Fall River would be just fine, as in the case with Beverly. She's a hop, skip, and a jump, and she spends a lot of time here anyway. But it's a really good program, and you can just go onto our website and fill out the foster application. And if there are any questions, I will be sure to give you a call. And that's about it.
Now, there are certain people, if I'm correct, that prefer kittens. Yep. I mean cats or whatever, and felines, and then some like to do the dogs, and there are some that will just do any animal species, correct?
Correct. There aren't too many that are as flexible to take cats or dogs. They usually have a preference. And not every animal is eligible for foster. There is usually a specific need, whether it be a medical need, administration of medications, socialization, having the animal try to overcome high levels of anxiety. And then there is these little guys who don't have a mama and need bottle feeding. So that is a very specific need, but we do. We have people who are well qualified and willing to learn, and that's the important thing.
Right. The other thing about being local as well is too, because if something happens and they have to go to a vet close by, we need to have close proximity and the 24-hour care and all that. So that where we have accounts with, as because we take care of that. So Bev, you've been doing fostering for a while.
24 years.
24 years. Wow, you're a sucker for punishment.
I know. Done it all.
Only kidding.
I remember once we picked up a pit bull at a vet, brought him home, he jumped up on the bed. I was like, oh my God, look at this big guy. Yeah, that was a scary night. Yeah, so I've had all sizes, all shapes, all breeds. broken legs, broken limbs, pregnancies, infants. Yeah, I've had it all.
Okay, so want to tell us a little about these three little guys?
So it just so happened that I came in for a meeting with Ariana 3 Thursdays ago when New Bedford Animal Control walked in with these infants and came into the office and said, Ari, I need a foster. Ari looked at me, Bev, you going to foster them? I went, oh yeah, sure, whatever. So I took them home, and that was the story. So they were trying to trap the mom with these babies. Someone found the kittens and the mom. And I believe that he trapped them in his house. And when Animal Control got there to pick them up, he said he lost the mother. She either jumped out a window, ran out the door. So they set up traps for like a week and a half. But they caught a lot of other animals, but they never caught their mother. So it breaks your heart when they're not with their mommies. So bottle fed from day one.
So, okay, so bottle feeding sometimes means 24/7, correct?
Correct. Well, Animal Control said these babies were 15 days old. So that meant I got the break of the midnight feedings. So the last bottle would be around 11 o'clock at night, and the next bottle happened to be around 6:30, 7:30 in the morning. I'm not really a morning person. I would stretch that as far as I could. Closer to 7:30, so they would sleep all night. I would put them in a crate, a carrier, on a nice warm heating pad with blankies, and then I'd wrap the crate in a towel or a blanket so they had no light. And then I'd put them to bed, and they slept, and I'd come down in the morning, and I'd open the crate, and they're sound asleep, and I would go, come on, babies, time for your babats, and I'd have to wake them up. So that lasted for a good 2 weeks. I've had them over, tomorrow's 3 weeks I've had them. I got them March 3rd, I think. What's today? The
23rd.
Yeah, so I've had them 20 days. So they've grown a lot in the 20 days because I had to teach them go to the bathroom. I had to give them formula in the bottle, and then I had to teach them how to eat. So it's been a struggle. This little guy that I'm here holding, he just started eating yesterday. He would not give up his bottle. Oh my God, what a mama's boy.
They're all sleeping.
He just wanted his bottle forever and ever. He screamed all day long when I said, that's it, no more bottles. They have to eat because it deforms their mouth if they go on a bottle way too long. So I even spoke to the vet. She said, oh no, you got to get him off the bottle at this age. I said, okay. So I felt bad because he'd scream. And but yesterday he finally ate on his own. But it's been a battle for this little guy. He's a mama's boy. Look at him. He's so sweet.
They're all asleep.
Look
at
this
this
one keeps falling
The
asleep.
thing about fostering kittens, they bond with people right away. That's their mommies, so they bond. They want to be held. They want to be comforted. They don't want to be walking around. You know, they want to be in your arms all the time.
Well, they're infants.
They are. They're infants. I think, what did I say? They're going to be 5 weeks or 6 weeks today. They're one of those. I don't remember which one.
Well, if they had
and they
2
just
weeks,
got
4
their little
weeks,
teeth.
about 5.
You know, now when I'm grooming them, they start to bite me. I said, oh, they've got teeth now. So the teeth have come in. But these are babies. I had them weighed. They were like 0.7 ounces.
Oh my.
Yeah, they were just tiny little things. I mean, I don't know on TV if they look big, but they got a lot of fur. Underneath that fur, there's only little tiny babies here.
So Denise, what about supplies and stuff? If people wanted to do it, but say, gee, I'd like to do it, but I really can't afford to purchase supplies and so on, you know, like food and any medicine or bottles, what about that?
The shelter provides for everything. Bedding, food, formula if needed, any kind of supplement that's needed. So really there's no financial responsibility on the part of a foster.
Now, fosters have to fill out an application?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Now, I know in the past a lot of people say I can't foster because, you know, I would adopt them all. You know, quite a few years ago, Bev and I had a neighbor, and she fostered 2 kittens for us, and she ended up keeping them. and they moved to California with her. So, there is, foster failures like that. But do we have sort of an agreement that they have to bring them back?
They have to bring them back, and they can fill out an application
To adopt.
if they have a particular preference. We have a lot of fosters who end up adopting one cat or two cats, or the dog that they happen to be fostering.
And I can understand that because you fall in love with them.
Oh, but you're bonded.
Oh, my God.
Not only the animal to you, but
When I had Pluto last year, Pluto came with a litter of 6 kittens, and Pluto was failure to thrive. He crashed several times. His litter mates made it, but he was always struggling. He was not growing. I kept going back. I actually used the Taunton Cat Hospital with Pluto, and they said it was failure to thrive. He just wasn't growing. And my heart was breaking. And then I finally would get him to eat, and then I finally got him walking, even though all his other siblings were moving on, I still had him. And when it came time for him to be a big boy and move on, I cried all day. I kept saying, I'm going to keep him, I can't let him go. But I did let him go. And, I did cry, I could tell you that. My heart was breaking. I put so much time and effort into that little baby. To make him live. And so you do bond with them, and I can see why people do that. But my motto is if I kept them, I would have a farm right now with all the animals that I fostered. So my motto is to love them, nurture them, get them up there, and then let them go. That's what I do. I don't keep them. Although Pluto was the closest to being kept. And I know if Pluto's mom and kids listen to this, they'll say, oh no, that's our cat, But I've had a lot, and I have to say, somehow or other, I end up with a lot of the tough ones. Remember Pip? We called him Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie was an old Shih Tzu that had amputation. I had Molly. Oh my God, there was nothing ever more destroying than Molly's eye, and heartbreaking that was. But we got Molly adopted. So I've had a lot of the tough ones.
And you had the one, the name is escaping me.
Rudy?
The dog, Rudy.
Oh, Rudy.
Yes,
I
let's talk a
fostered
little bit about
Rudy
Rudy.
for a year and a half. And
You shared Rudy with someone.
Betty,
who's a
Betty and I
friend.
shared Rudy back
Yeah.
and forth. Betty luckily liked to travel, so every time she wanted to travel, Rudy came back to me. So Rudy was living in both houses for a while.
I gotta tell you though, Rudy was difficult, and Rudy did not like a lot of people and had a very difficult time. And Bill from New England Dog Training helped us with Rudy, as you know, Denise, and that worked well. But the thing that made my heart, and it was some of the reasons why I say I continue to do what I do here, is because the day that Rudy decided, Rudy was coming to visit with his mom because they were picking up the calendars because he was in the calendar a few years ago. And
She,
excuse me.
boy's
she.
name,
Yeah, I
but
know,
was a
Rudy,
girl
she's-
dog.
So she, the owner said to me, Gail, would you mind telling Bev that we're here and I would like Rudy to see her? I said, sure. So I called Bev out. I said, she goes, are you going to cover for me? I said, no, I want to go out with you with Rudy. And Rudy saw Bev and just jumped off her lap, and I mean just ran over to Bev, and the owner let go of the leash, luckily, because people were walking by and I was like panicked. He jumped onto Bev and he put his head, I keep saying he put her head on Bev and was just giving Bev kisses and kisses. I wish I had a camera, because it was one of the most precious moments that you ever would have seen, and I'm glad that I witnessed it. That dog absolutely remembered her. And how long had it been since you had seen her?
Oh, about 4 months.
4 months. It
Yeah.
was incredible.
Really?
Now, Rudy wasn't too fond of me. She tolerated
Or anybody
me.
else.
No, she tolerated me. I got snapped at a few times and almost bitten, but Bev said, oh, come and say hello to Rudy. And I'm like, hi, Rudy, from a distance, because I know better. But Rudy just didn't want to get out of her arms. She was just so happy to see her. And that, says a lot. It says a real lot.
That's because you end up nurturing them. You nurture them to make them love you and make them feel safe.
Oh, yeah.
So like these babies, they don't have a mom. So they need humans. They need people to nurture them. You teach them everything. I had to teach them to eat, teach them to go to the bathroom. And with all these toys here, right? Before we were on camera, we're trying to play. They don't play. They're not there yet. They haven't learned how to play. This is what they do best. I don't know. Evo's not sleeping though, huh?
She has dozed off.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Is Evo making all the crying noise?
Yes, she's making the noise.
Yeah.
Subi's sleeping.
And Rex is sleeping, so
She wants you.
yeah, I think so. That's what happens. They all want mommy over here. But, that's what we teach them. We give them so much love. And I'll tell you, anybody that's out there that's thinking of fostering, it's the greatest feeling, what you're doing for these little kids, these babies. And even like Pip wasn't a baby, he was a 12-year-old Shih Tzu. But, we had to teach Pip that it was okay to trust people again.
Right.
And teach him that people are going to feed him and pet him and not to be afraid. I mean, he was so neglected, so abused, and then, he's in a great home.
Yep.
So that's what it's all about. That's the good thing.
That's one of the things that I pride myself on with our organization here, that we keep, all the different animals here. We just took in, I can't go into detail, but an older
The Maltese.
a Maltese
yeah,
dog,
12-year-old
and
Maltese.
had some difficulties, and they had called a whole bunch of places, and I got a personal phone call from a board of director, and said, can we help this person out? And I said, okay, let me talk to the director, Ari. And that dog's going up for adoption, and people adopt, and we take care of the elderly. We just don't cast them aside. We have people that actually say to us, the dog's getting too old, or my cat's too old, and they're not playful anymore. They're not really much fun anymore. I'm going to get a younger dog, or I just don't want another animal. And then we also have another dog trainer that comes in and volunteers for us on Sundays. Can I mention his?
I don't see why not.
I'll mention his name. Mark Ventura.
Right.
He's from Rhode Island, and he's been volunteering on Sundays. Had a great conversation with him on Sunday, and he said to me, I was thanking him for coming in to sharing his time, and he just comes in, he just walks the dogs and helps with the train a little bit.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He's a good guy, and he turned around and he said to me, I love coming to this place, he said, because you just don't have a certain kind of animal. A lot of people are getting the animals from, down, and which is okay to help other states, Tennessee and all that, but they're getting all the animals then. They're not, you take the, the older animals and, disabled and all that. He said, and you find homes for them. He said, I didn't realize that. It's remarkable. So, and it kind of made me think about it and say, yeah, we do. We just don't, like the 12-year-old Maltese, it was like, wow, what are we going to do? And we took the, dog in, got him fixed up, and now he's going to go to another home. And we give full disclosure. The dog's was living with an elderly person who unfortunately passed, is not used to going outside, is going to have to be possibly trained or not, and use the pads
pee-pee
outside,
pads. Yeah.
In the house and all that. And we have people that are willing to take them on, and we're very fortunate. Ariana does a fantastic job with meeting people and getting and moving them together, and that's just. It's when we call it an adoption, you're not buying an animal here, you're adopting an animal. And like when you adopt a human being, you have to take the time, and that's what we take the time to do. And I'm just very, very impressed with how well things are going here and how we have such a diversified population.
Well,
And
I think diversified. We have a chicken out in the hallway there.
well, that's true.
We have
That's true.
we have a couple of guinea pigs. We have a parakeet.
And we have rabbits.
And we have the rabbits.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you never know what's going to be in this building. You just never know. People say, oh, it's all cats and dogs. Oh, no.
No.
I was out in the hallway, so it's like a farm out there in the hallway. They'll all be back in this room after. But, yeah, it's like a farm out there.
And we're very fortunate that, that's okay, that Denise, that's her husband. We're very fortunate that people understand that Ariana works with other groups too. I mean, she just doesn't, if they got to go to a rescue. But I'm going to tell you, she gets the chickens out and adopted,
The ducks. Remember,
right,
you
ducks.
did a show with a big giant duck over here.
I did it with
Doc Jackie.
it was some kind of, it was with a vet.
The vet.
And Lucy was doing it for us, and it was a big. She said the kind of duck it was. To me, it was a duck. I don't know, some Canadian.
A duck
type
is
of
a duck,
Well,
right?
years ago, we had a pot-belly pig.
Oh, the
Potbelly
pigs.
pig, yep.
We've had goats too in the backyard.
Yep.
Yeah, you never know what comes into the shelter. I mean,
They're
you know,
animals.
we've had
Animals.
pigeons in here. Why do we have pigeons?
Oh dear
Da
God.
da 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 da. You never know what's going on our TV show. You just never know.
Sorry about that, folks. She thought she put it off, but you know, I think that we have to understand too is that again back to fostering, it is a commitment. You know, like
Definitely.
certain times a day. If you don't have the time to like take little kittens in because you have to be there like every 4 hours, like a baby, or
Yeah,
how many hours
definitely.
it takes to for that. But then if it's an animal that needs a lot of love and attention, and you're home, I mean, you can go back to work and
Right,
so
a
the
lot of
animal
them
can
go to work.
understand.
You can work and be fosters. When I was working as a school teacher, I was fostering. You know, I would have a dog in a cast. I had a playpen for him. I went to work, come back home, 2:30, 3 o'clock, and take care of him. You know, if I had to do bandage changes. So, I mean, it's doable. It depends on for every 4-hour feedings, you can't work. Let's bring them with you to work.
Right.
So maybe Lucy would foster and take him to the studio with her.
Yeah. So Denise, where can they find this application?
The application is on foreverpaws.com, or
Okay.
if they're close to our shelter at 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, they can come on in and I can hand them a foster application.
Okay, and just to let our audience also know that we're still, we're doing by appointment only, but you can ring the doorbell. There's a doorbell, if you're facing the building, it's on the left-hand side, and I keep filling in this spot that says, please do not pull on this door, because people pull
Try
the
to
door.
yank the door open,
and we've had
thinking
to,
that it's, that
Yeah.
they can get it open. It's
Yeah.
locked.
and we have had to repair like 3 or 4 times and more than that, but people keep doing that. So just please look for the ring doorbell. Someone will answer the door. Everyone's here from 11 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We're here longer, but people to come in 11 to 4. And then not only that, but even though we're closed on Sunday and on Wednesday, if you're looking for this type of a foster application, you can ring the doorbell and usually someone will come out, and it's usually Karen, our new clerk, will answer the door and she'll get you the paperwork that you need. Or if you're bringing it back to us, that's okay too. We really appreciate that. I just want to point out.
So these kittens were a bust for our show. All they do is
Yeah,
sleep.
they didn't do
I
too
thought
much.
we would have them running around playing over here.
Yeah. Well, I also want to just put a little plug into, we are coming up with a couple of fundraisers for the end of May. We will have a fundraiser. It's going to be, I can say it now, because
yes.
the tickets are not on, the tickets are all going to have to be bought online. It's called Drag Queen Bingo. It's going to be at White's. It's May 21st. Doors open at 6:30, but all tickets are purchased online. You can buy individual, or you can buy a table of 8, and they're $40. And it'll be 10 games of bingo. And in between, we will have some entertainment by 3 drag queens, and they're going to call the bingo. And at the end, that half-hour break, there's a concession stand through White's. And, of course, Denise, the cash bar. We like the cash bar. And, we enjoy that. And then after that, it'll be, not that I'm saying that she drinks a lot, but her husband, likes to drink too. And
So do we.
No, he likes to buy drinks.
He likes
for
to buy
people.
drinks.
Yeah,
he
he likes
does.
to buy
I wasn't going to say it, but he does. He likes to buy drinks for people. And then after that, at the break, they get the little concession. And then at the end, at 9:30 to 10, the 3 queens are going to do a little show for us as well. So it's going to be a great night of entertainment. And you will have 10 games, and you'll have 5 and 5. It's going to be mostly cash prizes, but there will be some other prizes as well. We haven't figured that out yet. We're just beginning to put that
working on
together.
that, right.
Yeah, we're working on that. So we haven't done a lot of fundraising in the last couple of years, but we're going to get out there and do that. We're excited about it. The last thing I want to tell Denise, don't get upset, but it's over 21 of age.
Oh, so
Years of
Denise might not be able to
I
go.
might just be able to squeak through
You
that door.
might be able to get in.
21 event,
It's
yes.
going to be a 21 event, and just because some people get offended by some of the language and the jokes that they might make, so we don't want to offend anybody. So if you're that type of person that prefers not to listen to profanity or slightly
Adult
adult
entertainment.
entertainment, you probably don't want to come to our bingo.
So I can't bring my granddaughter.
No, you
No.
cannot. No, you cannot.
And tickets can only be purchased on the website Eventbrite.
Right. And they won't be coming out until just the beginning, when this show is airing in April 1st.
They'll
that's
be
when it's
just
gonna
coming out,
available.
correct.
Right. So that's what we're doing there. And we're very pleased about that. It's a new event. Someone had adopted an animal from us. We're really happy. Give a shout out to WSAR, Sue, the producer, the manager there, got us this young man for us, and we're really excited. So I want to thank you both for coming in with your different hats on today. I appreciate that and joining me today.
And very rambunctious, playful
the kittens
kittens.
are really a real handful here today, but that's, oh, I'm sorry, Subi. But thank you very much for joining us on Straight from the Paws. I hope you have a great day, and please remember to stay safe.